Hi, I'm Sunita Rodriguez. I love my kids, my husband, my job, and I love to cook. My mantra is to cook it simple, to cook it good, and to cook it with soul. I've trained as a chef at the Taj Group of Hotels and traveled to food festivals all over the globe. My tactics and tricks hold the secret to cooking up happy times. Join me on Meals on the Run with Sunita. Hi, I'm Sunita, and welcome back to Meals on the Run, where we make really cool and simple recipes totally stress-free and very, very quickly. Chopping, marinating, and grilling. Just 3 simple steps, it's ready. The king of all barbecues. Fabulous way to get all your friends and families together. Surefire hit with young and old alike. A little naughty and a little nice, just the way I like it. Well, if you're in the mood for a barbecue today, then I have just the menu for you. I'm gonna make today grilled vegetables on a platter, followed by yummy lamb chops with a tangy slaw. I'm gonna go in with some creamy mashed potatoes with peas and washed down by a lovely, refreshing lychee and lemon fizz. But first, to begin with, I'm gonna start with the grilled vegetables on a platter. I have here with me all these gorgeous vegetables. But first, to begin with, I'm gonna start with the marinade. I need just a little bit of olive oil. A little extra here. I'm going to use some red wine vinegar because I love the flavor that red wine vinegar brings. It's mellow, it's sweet, and better than normal vinegar. A little bit of oregano here. I've got dried. Fresh is definitely, absolutely better. I've got some salt. Teeny, itsy bitsy bit of sugar. And some lovely, fragrant, crushed peppercorn. I'm just going to give that a quick whisk around, and you can see how the red wine and the oil forms into a nice, thick kind of an emulsion. And now that I've whisked it up a bit, I'm just going to leave it for a while and get down to the best part, my colorful vegetables. Right here, I have a nice dark purple aubergine. I'm going to cut this into strips. And this gives me a larger piece when I want to reach out for the vegetables. I'm going to take this and put it nicely inside. A zucchini, cut it in exactly the same way. Nice long pieces of zucchini there. Now I move to the carrot. A lovely, lovely floret of broccoli. Just going to keep this natural. And of course, my favorite of all, some nice, colorful peppers. I have here some okra. I've taken small, tender okra. Remove this top part, throw it in whole. So I'm just going to give that a quick toss around. And you can see the marinade there coating all the vegetables. If you have time, then please do this in advance, because then the vegetables have a nice pickled flavor. But if not, you can grill them, say, in about 15 minutes or so, as long as the marinade seeps through. And I can feel the red wine vinegar there, and it's going to do a good job with marinating these vegetables. I'm going to add one more ingredient that I have here, which is cottage cheese, but I'm not going to put it inside this because it's probably going to break up. It's really, really delicate, so I'll just cut it and keep it. Just a few slices. Now I'm going to grill on high heat. We start out with the vegetables that require the most amount of cooking. I'll put in just a little bit of olive oil. I prefer to use olive oil for this one, but you can use regular vegetable oil if you like to, but olive oil gives it a whole different flavor. I'm just going to quickly brush that all over my pan and start with the vegetables that take the longest to cook. So we have aubergine and carrots, and of course some nice florets of broccoli. And if you can find some more space in there, then just pop in the zucchini too. sometimes you may have just one lonely aubergine and one carrot left over, and you know, one vegetable there which probably would not be sufficient to make a whole vegetable by itself. So this is a good way of combining a whole lot of vegetables, getting a lot of color, a lot of nutrients and vitamins in one big meal. As you can see, the aubergine has started to change color. Carrot, you can keep it a little crunchy. Zucchini, you can keep it a little crunchy because these are vegetables you can even have raw. Well, I can smell the aroma of the oregano there and the vegetables, and you can see that they get done really, really quickly. Well, while this is getting done, I'm just going to clean up very quickly and present it. All that you need to do. Present it and, of course, dig into it later. Aubergine, carrots, a few florets of broccoli here, and you can see the zucchini is done too. While I'll allow it to get a little brown on the other side, I have some okra that I'm going to put in, the bell peppers, some of that lovely creamy cottage cheese. You can just lightly press them down so that they get a nice grill mark. This is a great vegetarian starter. My cottage cheese has a nice crusty exterior and I can see that it's soft on the inside, so I'll remove this here. And here we have bell peppers, colorful grilled fresh vegetables. I'm just going to reduce some of that marinade. Roll it up. And I'm going to quickly pour it all my nice vegetables. So there you have it. A lovely tray of grilled vegetables can be used for any barbecue, any party that you have in your house. You know, I love it when great things get done with a minimum amount of stress. Well, what barbecue is complete without some sort of meat? And the best form that is most popular are these amazing lamb chops, accompanied by a nice tangy slaw. Before I start out with marinating these, let me prepare the marinade. I have here a bowl, a little bit of ginger garlic paste, a little bit of barbecue sauce, some soya sauce, just about 1.5 teaspoons, a little bit of salt. I'm going to put in a little oil. You see, when your meat is on the barbecue, it tends to dry out really fast, so the oil keeps the juices inside. So just a little bit of vegetable oil there, about 2 tablespoons. My favorite ingredient, some red wine, about 1/4 of a glass maybe. And a nice good squeeze of lime. This is the easiest way to cut lime. At least I find it really easy cutting lime this way. Quick whisk. Just one more thing that I require, crushed pepper, and my marinade is done. So it's really quick, really simple. And now to put in the meat. You can put in almost any kind of meat with this, but I'm going to put in these lovely tender lamb chops. I'm going to put them into this bag, probably 2 at a time. You spread out the meat a little bit. So I've got 2 done. Just going to do the other 2. So, and I'm just going to pop this into the marinade. There's a little extra marinade there. Press it down and let that marinade soak in into the meat. No barbecue is complete without a slaw, and of course the basis of a good slaw is some good shredded cabbage. But I'm going to make mine with just a little bit of a difference. I'm going to chop up a carrot, chop it up as finely as you possibly can and put that inside too. So I've got carrot, I've got cabbage, I've got a nice red apple, and I'd like to keep the skin on. A lot of the nutrients are just under the skin. So for those of you who eat apple and who rather pare their apple before eating it, here comes some nice red sweet apple into the coleslaw. And of course, a nice dollop of mayonnaise. Before I mix that, I'm going to quickly snip in some parsley. Just snip away. I'm going to mix that. I've purposely kept my apple a little big because I like the crunch that it gives me when I'm having the slaw. One more ingredient. Nice, colorful studs of pomegranate seeds. I'm going to put in a few inside and a few on top. Haven't added the tangy flavor as yet. So here they are. 3 nice little gherkins. You can make a variation of this slaw. You can add a little bit of chicken to it if you want a non-vegetarian version. You can add some red cabbage to it, whatever you like. But the tanginess of the gherkins, the sweetness of the fruit in the slaw goes really well with any kind of barbecued meat. Itsy bitsy bit of salt. I just want one quick squeeze of lime into that, and we are done. A nice, creamy, tangy slaw with sweet bits of fruit thrown inside. Pomegranate seeds there, giving a blast of red color, and a little more of this green, fresh parsley on top. I'm going to keep it to one side as I get on with grilling my lamb chops. I have here a grill pan. Put in a little bit of oil, and if you have one of these at home, it's really, really very handy. And of course, if you were using it on a barbecue, then a barbecue grill would be the perfect, ideal thing. So I have here these lamb chops. I think by now they're nicely marinated, and you can see the marinade has become thick. Well, now that my pan is nice and sizzling hot, you can see the smoke coming out. I need it to be really hot when I start because it seals the juices inside and doesn't allow any of those succulent juices to come out. I think barbecues are a fabulous way to get all your friends and families together because you can do all the preparation in advance and have loads of time to sit and chat around later. I'm going to reduce this now to a slow fire. Now that both the sides are nicely brown and the juices are inside, throw in a little bit, just a little bit of moisture, and you're actually getting it to braise there in the pan. As you can see, I'm not just grilling them, but I'm braising them ever so slightly so they remain moist and juicy. I think they're almost done, and I'm going to take this marinade and just pour it inside there. I'm just waiting for the sauce to reduce just a little bit here. And my final ingredient, just a small tad of honey. I prefer to add it last because the sugar in the honey tends to burn and caramelize. But I think that's about done. All that's left for me to do is to put it on a great plate and eat it. And of course, I have my tangy slaw here. And I'm going to use this fabulous sauce. Just make it all the more juicy there. Just a little bit more parsley on it. And you're done. Amazing lamb chops, accompanied by a nice tangy slaw. Well, now for the most rewarding part of this entire process. Just a small piece. Very juicy, succulent, and the smoky flavor of the barbecue. Although I didn't use live coal. A super must-try barbecue dish. Okay, so there's nothing like a nice lemony fizzy drink to hose you down on a hot barbecue day. And I have just the drink for you, my lemon and lychee fizz. It's a combination of a mojito and a lemony fizz. Now, this is what I'm going to do. Very, very quickly, just a small piece of lime, cut it into small little wedges, small little bits, throw it in. A nice sprig of mint, put that in too. I'm just going to muddle this for a little while. Let all the juices come out of the mint as well as the lime. I've got some ice cubes here. This is a really, truly refreshing drink. A little bit of lychee crush. This is something that's really nice. I have it in my house. Lychee is a favorite drink in any form. Don't put too much because it's quite sweet. And of course, top it up with any clear, fizzy drink that you have. And quickly just pop in cherries. Well, there you can see it. The mint and the lemon at the bottom. The lychee there, those studded cherries right on top. And of course, the lemon. I'm just going to mix this up ever so gently. So there it is, my lychee and lemon fizz. This is absolutely refreshing. You don't have to wait for a barbecue to try this one. A little naughty and a little nice, just the way I like it. Well, what is a barbecue without some form of potato? And today I have the most easiest and most enjoyed potato, my creamy mashed potato with peas. I have here already a pot of boiling water, and I'm just gonna put in my potatoes, put in a little salt, of course, cover it and wait for it to boil. I'm just gonna check on my potatoes, and they're clean and done. So that's really quick. Now you've got to do this when the potatoes are hot, so if you can't stand the heat, don't get out of the kitchen. Just take a napkin and hold it underneath and remove the skin. I'm just going to quickly throw them in here. I like the way with a barbecue when you have mashed potatoes and you're eating some kind of gravy, how the mashed potatoes and gravy goes so amazingly well. And chop that one ever so slightly. And then give this a quick mash. And you can see how the potatoes are coming out nice and soft from the masher. And this is one of them. Very quickly in the same pan, I'm going to put in a little butter. So a good way to actually minimize your fat, though it is not going to minimize your salt, is to add a little extra salt and a little less butter. Don't let it get brown. In goes your potato. Mash it up just a little bit there. Put in a little bit of milk, just a little liquid at a time. You don't want it to become all lumpy. I'm going to add just a little bit of cream, about a teaspoon. Mix that up. Some salt. Some pepper. Again, if you don't like the color that this freshly ground pepper brings, you can use white pepper. But believe me, the taste is totally different. And now I'm just going to tumble in a couple of these peas. I like the way that the peas just stud the potato. The peas come out nice and crunchy in the middle of the creamy potato. And there it is, simple and quick, can be done in just a few minutes. Mashed potato is normally had warm, but it can also be had as a salad. This is an amazing accompaniment to any barbecue. Creamy mashed potato with peas. So I'm just going to dig into this. I love the creaminess of this mashed potato. You know, mashed potato has a way of bringing about instant happiness the moment you taste it. It's a surefire hit with young and old alike. So today, we've covered a whole range of barbecue items. We started out with a very exciting grilled vegetable platter, moved on to a succulent, tender lamb chops, which we grilled, accompanied, of course, by the tangy, fruity slaw, washed down by a refreshing, lemony lychee fizz, and of course, this amazing mashed potato, creamy, studded with these peas. If you want to catch more recipes like this, amazing recipes like this, then watch me next time for more meals on the run.